Well, hello, and for the third time, the magical time, hello. Welcome to the Tao Manifesting Tarot. This is the most unusual tarot reading you're going to find anywhere. Doesn't make any difference. On the internet, off the internet, no problems. And the reason it's different is the fact that I focus on your ability to manifest. That's the kryptonite that each of us has to take on the world, to create pictures, scenes, movies, whatever, in our own mind. Feel it, hear it, taste it, touch it. We are in a position right now where we are enamored with technology, so we allow all the stuff coming from the outside going into us. That's not creative. It doesn't help us in any way whatsoever. And in fact, hypnotizes us to a technology that is about to eradicate us. So, what I do is help you to manifest. Everything that I do in this reading is to help you make pictures in your own imagination to manifest. Alrighty, and today we're going to focus on the idea of why or why not. We are at a critical juncture in humanity. We are on the verge of winking out. We have an invasive technology that has taken over our lives. We are addicted to the technology. We are surrendering to the technology. And that is putting us on the brink of extinction. Because once the technology manifests, as it will, into the robotic revolution, we're done. There will be no jobs. There will be, therefore, no income. And the scariest part of all of it is there will be no purpose in our lives. And that can lead to a very, very quick extinction of humanity. If we don't have meaning in our lives, if we don't have a reason for getting our ass out of bed and getting involved in the world around us, with the people around us, we're gone. And that is the question, the problem, the issue that we're running into at 110 miles an hour. So the question is, why or why not should we proceed? Well, I think I've laid out the information pretty well, and that's why I want you to not depend on that external technology, but to depend on your inner spirituality and intelligence by manifesting. So I use the tarot, and I've done tarot for over 20 years. I use the tarot because there is a science to it. It's not a good predictor. From my experience, it's a lousy predictor. But it is good at something else that's critical. Tarot is the science of potential, your potential. So that's why I want to use tarot to help you to manifest, create your life story between your ears, not outside of yourself. That's simply sucking your spirit, intelligence, integrity out the door. And people are willing to do it, man. I don't have to think for myself. Shit, let's do it. Hey, come on. Hey, Siri, do this. Hey, do this. Wikipedia, do this, do this. But in the end, what it's doing is crippling us. So manifesting from your spirit is absolutely critical and essential. But you get more than tarot here. because I want to give you a full picture. And so I use tarot as the power of potential. That's the end result of all of this. That's our destination. But the path to get there is astrology, numerology. It's the power of cycles, the science of cycles. Because numerology and astrology, you can make predictions. Because life, existence is cycle upon cycle upon cycle upon cycle. You know when the new moon is, you know when the full moon is, you know when summer's here, you know when winter's here, spring, fall, whatever. That's not satanic. It's not evil. It's knowing cycles. It's understanding cycles. And if you understand astrology, if it's put together properly for you, it's not just a bunch of, well, the moon is here, Venus is there, and they're squaring Uranus, and it's going up here over in the midheaven, and we're changing it, and we got all kinds of subliminals. I've done astrology, numerology for over 50 years. Again, tarot for over 20. But in my 50 years of doing astrology, numerology, the single biggest thing that I've had to deal with, and I haven't done it really successfully, is to condense all that information. Because doing an astrological reading most of the time, as I'm listening to people, it's chop suey. It's just a bunch of information. Well, you got the moon here, and you got this there, and everything's moving, and it's this stuff, and they're going to be... And you walk away from a reading going, so what the hell does that mean? Well, what the reader is hoping for is that you're going to grab onto something they said, and you will make sense out of it. You will interpret it so it makes some kind of sense out of you, whether it's true or not, or accurate or not. Doesn't make any difference. They just keep spitting the stuff out there till you grab something. I'm not doing that. Everything that I do is meant to be as short and sweet and to the point and as clear as I can possibly be, because I want you to manifest. And to manifest, you have to be clear and concise. So I use the astrology numerology as kind of a platform for the tarot. Okay? So that's the point, to get you to understand, to see, to hear, to feel, to touch, to taste. And I use the astrology, the cycles. If it happened 150 years ago, the odds are it's happening again today sometime. And learn from that situation. Like, for example, and I do this every single time, and I'll make it as quick as I can. July 4th, 1776, the planet Pluto and the planet Uranus were in a certain positions. Takes Pluto 250 years to go all the way around the solar system. Takes Uranus about 84, so it's been around several times. But now, as we confront our 250th anniversary, that'll be coming up next summer here in the United States, Uranus, Pluto are in essentially the same spot. Pluto is evolution. Uranus is revolution. Take a look at the world. Take a look at the United States. Take a look at what's going on. The energy is the same energy as we had way back when we signed the Declaration of Independence. So while we're talking about astrology, let's get to some important point here for you. We're heading into the retrograde season coming up the middle of July. Saturn will begin by going retrograde or appearing to go backwards. It doesn't really, but it appears that way. That changes the energy. That changes the frequency. And usually in retrogrades, you have stuff from the past coming up. So I'm expecting a lot more information about what's been going on over the past, at least since the first of the year, maybe farther back than that, come up so that we can re-examine. And as each of the other individual planets turn retrograde before the end of the year, we're going to see more revelation, more revelation, more revelation. And a lot of it's not going to be pleasant. A lot of it is not going to be pleasant, but we're in that critical time period of humanity now. It's the 11th hour. We have no more time. With all the things that are going on in the universe, in the world, the biggest obstacle we have ahead of us is the technological revolution, the robots. Because they're going to take away everything that makes us human. And so I'm looking at the two planets today that are in a lineup of planets, and they'll stay this way, at least for the this rest of this year and into 2026, and that's Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius, by the way, is ruled by the planet Uranus. And speaking of the planet Uranus, which is in Gemini right now, Uranus, Gemini, the future is electric. So Pluto, ruled by Uranus, in Aquarius there, that's the future. And the future is electric. The future is technological. The future is robots. What will happen to human beings? What would happen to society? Remember a Sherlock Holmes movie with Basil Rathbone, the best Sherlock Holmes ever in the movies? And in one of his movies, he was talking about somebody doing a security thing. There was some sort of a big diamond or something, and they were going to use the electric security stuff, and it didn't stop the thief from stealing the diamond. And Basil Rathbone, as Sherlock Holmes said, electricity. It's the high priest of false security. Same thing is true here with our technology. Here we are, thoroughly connected to electric technology, computers. It would take nothing to bring us to our knees. That's the reason the deep state people are talking about, hey, you got to have electric cars, you got to have electric this, you got to have electric that, electric. All that would need to happen is for somebody, someplace around the world who had control of the computer system, shut down our grid. One algorithm, shut it down, everything electric, boom. Within less than 24 hours, you would see people in mass panic. Means anything electric cars, or the electric parts on your car so it wouldn't start. Cooking, lights, computers, anything electric doesn't exist anymore. So electricity being the high priest of false security, saying, oh, well, we got the electric grid and we can do all these things. No, you can't, because all you got to do is take that down. And it's real easy. That's why they're pushing us into electric. But in that transition, this technology takes away our humanity. I have a special page that I put on as often as I can. It's called Thinking Out Loud. And here's this little meme. Electric cars and digital currencies are useless in an emergency. And the way the system is set up, they can initiate an emergency at any time and blame anybody they want to. The point is they pull the plug and you have no control. So now let's take a look at the tarot. We begin to delve into the potential here for you. We begin with the first card, Seven of Wands. It talks about defiance, taking a stand. I see this as standing up for your humanity, standing up for our humanity. What will happen to us when the computer and robot revolution has completely taken over? Well, first of all, there aren't going to be any jobs. White collar, blue collar, red collar, no collar at all. Doesn't make any difference. There are no jobs. Computers are handling it. Robots are handling it. Okay. So what do you do for income? How do you buy food? How do you buy clothes? How do you pay your rent? But maybe the most important thing of all, what do you do for meaning in your life? I mean, a lot of people get their value from their work. Well, if you don't have that anymore, what? So the Seven of Wands talks about defiance, taking a stand. Don't just fall into this technological stuff. Understand that you are giving up your humanity. That's the deal. Is that a deal that you really want to make? Next card up is the Three of Cups. Three of Cups talks about community, camaraderie. I think the concept of community is about to change. The technology and robot revolution will probably put us into smaller groups. working more independently. That is, if we want our humanity to survive. We're not going to stay the same world with the same massive cities. Even massive cities are going to divide up into smaller neighborhoods. So one of the ways that you can defy this whole technological push is take a stand for yourself, for your community. Because you may be the only thing that gives people purpose, that helps people continue their lives. Otherwise, it could very likely be all computers, and that's what we're beginning to see more and more. That's what these aspects, this Pluto-Uranus aspect that I was talking about there in the beginning. Pluto in Aquarius, Aquarius being controlled, of course, by Uranus. And then Uranus is now in Gemini, so that's all communication. And you're seeing how quickly communication is being changed, is being subjugated. And how many jobs have gone, and wait, there's going to be a whole lot more to come. We have some huge, forget what's going on in China or the Middle East or Ukraine, forget that. The boogeyman on the street is technology, and nobody's paying attention. And when you have Pluto and Uranus in such a favorable aspect, nobody's really kind of looking at it closely, and they really need to. And the final card is the World. The World card talks about wholeness and integration. That's really what we have to do. We have to focus on putting together a whole new system, a whole new way of thinking, a whole new way of looking at things, a whole new definition of humanity. And that's why I bring it up now, because with Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini right now, staying here for the next year to 2 years, maybe even longer, the transition is happening. It's happening now. It's not down the road. It's happening now. And it's going to get here much faster than you think. And when it gets here, unless you have some sort of alternative plans, and I don't mean survival mode stuff, unless you've figured this out, you're going to be in big trouble. I wish you well. Time's up. We're done. We're finished. No more. No mas. Hey, please, so like and subscribe to the Tarot Podcast. A lot of people who have podcasts are having tough times. Again, it's the technology stuff. Your liking and subscribing makes all the difference in the world. Alrighty, so between now and the next time you and I get together to manifest tarot, this has been a tough one, but it's been a very, very critical one. You need to refocus. Between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.